What are we talking about? What am I talking about? Well, we got news today, and this was dropped in the New York Post, and it was kind of put out there more broadly, that there has been a probe into the Walt Disney World Company and their former appointed board. So remember, before it was this new board that was appointed by DeSantis, it was appointed by Disney. And remember, Disney said multiple times, let's be very clear. Disney said, we are Reedy Creek. Remember that? Remember when I said, when we were yelling and screaming about Disney saying that and saying how that's a big deal? Well, here's the problem. If they are Reedy Creek, then they are their crimes. And also, a lot of the folks that were working for Reedy Creek were also working for Disney. And Disney is still, to this day, even to this day, one of the largest contractors of the district. In fact, the largest contractor. So they still pay Disney to do things. So let's put a pin in all of that, right? So Disney, a lot of interplay there, a lot of statements that they made that said we were them and they were us. Yeah, all of those statements are coming back to bite them because now there is an official probe by the Florida AG. And actually, this is so quick of an article that they spelled AG wrong. But the AG is probing the former board, and already just looking into one financial year, one fiscal year, they found $2 million in potential theft here. So what this is, guys, is theft of public funds. This is misappropriation of public funds. When you spend government money, you need to have a public purpose. You cannot spend government money for private purpose. You also can't go and use it for cronyism and nepotism. That's illegal. And they found out they spent $500,000 on tickets. So they literally paid $500K on tickets. And this is in one fiscal year. So when you go back, and mind you, the statute of limitations on these things is a very long time. When they go back, this is going to add up to multi-million. This is going to add up to probably 6, 7, 8, maybe even 10 million when they really audit the books and go back 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. So let me read through this article, and then we're going to get into the receipts. So a board appointed by Ron DeSantis, so that's the new board, is asking the state's inspector general, okay, sorry, not the attorney general, but the inspector general. That's on me, guys. Inspector general, so IG is actually correct here, but the attorney general would take it up, to probe whether officials on the former board took millions in taxpayer dollars to pay for resort season passes and other perks. They told the inspector general's office on Monday that the board that used to oversee the theme park district, so that's RCID, paid Disney $2 million last fiscal year, just last fiscal year, for its members to have season passes, hotel stays, merchandise, food, and beverages. So this is a gross misappropriation of public funds. Just to put this into perspective for you guys, because I know you guys may think, oh no, this isn't a big deal, right? Well, let me show you a little case here. There's another little case here you guys need to see. Let's see. This government, this is actually a, let me remove this one, and actually let me show you a different one here. Okay, so this case, we've got this guy of Mark Anthony Tulloch, right? This guy was arrested, was thrown in jail for misuse of public funds. This guy, you'd think, okay, he's thrown in jail. How much money did he steal? Was it like $1 million, $2 million? This guy misused a government credit card in Florida. He was a local government employee. He misused a credit card. And he bought $2,000 worth of stuff. $2,000 worth of stuff. But got convicted of a felony for this and did jail time. So what I'm saying is this is a very, Florida takes these crimes seriously. Right? You do not need to come in here and just steal millions to get jail time. You can get jail time for relatively small ones. When I was local government counsel, I went and sat there and lectured every single board I sat on, including all of the boards adjacent to Disney, Celebration, Bonnet Creek, Reunion, all those folks. I told them, I said, guys, do not mess around with public funds. Do not do it. And a lot of times, here's another thing. People will try to give you gifts. They'll try to give you stuff. You can take gifts if you're a private party and it's from another private party. So let me give you an example. My law firm, when we represented Universal Studios, right? I represented Universal. Universal could give us whatever they wanted to give us because we were a private firm. And the nature of our representation was private. So they could give us tickets, food, discounts on hotels. They could give us whatever we wanted. But guess what? When I was representing these governments, people would often say, hey, look, can I take you to dinner? Can I take you to lunch? Can I buy you this bottle of wine? And we say no, because we had policies in place that restricted the amount we could take to anything over $25. You cannot take anything over $25. Essentially, you can't take more than a cheap lunch, like a Chick-fil-A lunch. Any more than that is completely banned, completely impermissible. You cannot take money as a person who represents a government or as a public entity, and you certainly can't take public funds and use them for a private purpose, particularly when it's something ridiculous like paying for, luxuries like hotels and passes and merchandise. That's absolutely illegal. Torgo says, Iger fixing to get the probe. Oh, yeah, he's definitely going to get some probing here. And Uncivil says, for $2, this is a gift under the public threshold. And appreciate that, Uncivil. Glad you're working out, getting fit. I'm trying to go to the gym now every single day. But it's something that I think gets better for everybody and helps everybody. You have more stamina to stream. And yeah, my headphones are getting shredded, so I got to replace them soon. I just haven't had time to go to the electronics store. It's all the way across town. So let me get here real quick. So going back to the article, and let me read this here for you guys. So the board members of what was then RCID racked up almost $500,000 in tickets, 16,000 in merchandise, and $4,000 in food and beverage discounts, 3,700 in water park discounts, according to a fiscal year invoice. The employees paid thousands of dollars over the same period for nights at the Yacht Club Resort, Caribbean Beach Resort, and Coronado Springs Resort. So look, they're not even staying at the most budget. They're staying at Yacht Club, Caribbean Beach, and Coronado Springs. The final operating budget for Reedes Creek fiscal year 2022 listed $169 million in total revenues and $178 in expenditures. And even though those expenditures seem large, and that seems to be kind of a large amount of spending for a government, that's actually pretty straightforward. That's actually pretty correct in terms of their expenditure amounts. Now let's go to the receipt, because this is really the thing that kind of blows my mind, is that Walt Disney was dumb enough to invoice this. So they literally have an invoice here. And let me see if I can zoom in for you guys. Okay, it's not, there you go, zooming in. Okay, so Walt Disney literally wrote an invoice for this. Walt Disney World Parks and Resorts, Inc. invoice. They got their name, Parks and Resorts, Lake Buena Vista, Florida, to the Reedy Creek Improvement District. I know it's blurry, but you can read it. It's Reedy Creek Improvement District, Lake Buena Vista, Florida. They invoiced them. Here's the $500,000 for various expenses, including tickets, merchandise, food, beverage, water parks, mini golf, and service awards. All of these things, invoicing them $500,000. Just one invoice. This is just one invoice. This invoice alone, they are absolutely in trouble over. This is absolutely something that is not permissible. Tickets are not something that is required for the performance of a government duty. There's nothing about Reedy Creek that requires them or the public entity to go into the theme parks or to have season passes for their board members. That is absolutely ridiculous. And because of that, yeah, this is going to get some scrutiny from the top. Now, I will remind everybody, and this is, I hate to say it, but I'm going to say it like a million times. I did tell you guys so. People thought I was overreacting when I did this state prison episode. You see back here, I did it 3 months ago, this state prison episode. Disney and Bob Iger risk state criminal charges. and I went through and I listed them. And we're going to go back in that video in a little bit. I'm going to focus on other stuff first, but we're going to go back in that video at some point. But I warned about this months ago, and my hope was that they could drop the case, that Iger would actually wise up and he would actually say, you know what? I'm going to drop this case because me effing around, I'm going to find out. And people, I'm telling you guys right now, in the comments to that video, people thought I was being hyperbolic. People thought I was being clickbait. People thought I was lying. People thought I was being extreme. All that sort of stuff. People thought I was crazy. They're like, Andrew, you're crazy. You're making things up. This is ridiculous. There's no actual charges. Well, lo and behold, they are there. And in this video, what I said was, I said the state needs to find proof of this, right? The state needs to find proof of these crimes. And let me just tell you this, guys. I know the state is listening to me. I know the state is forwarding on my videos. And I am absolutely certain that after I put this video out, somebody in the state got a hold of this and just started checking in on the invoices, just started doing a backlog 3 months ago and looking through this. And this is just the first thing they found doing the backlog, just the first of many things. People say, I love clickbait, don't I? No, listen, it's all very much true. I said they risked state charges, and now they've got them. Now we actually have criminal charges that are going to be investigated here. I didn't say rich people that rarely see jail, but they can, their businesses can take hits. They can get tremendous fines, right? Even if they get a slap on the wrist, think about the PR. Even if they never see a day in jail, think about the PR effect. Yeah. Oh, MG Law, thank you so much. They absolutely are listening and watching our work on this. You're an expert on this issue. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. I've been like a dog on a bone on this issue, but that's because Disney keeps every single week committing grievous, either committing crimes, lying, being sued. These things are huge. These things are coming up again and again and again and again. Let me get to these super chats. Ministry of Wrong Things says, sounds like Disney was dropped from the list of untouchables, and now all the rules that they used to not apply to the elite class are now coming at them with a vengeance. Yes, and honestly, if they never started this fight with Florida, decided to get political and decided to really pick this fight, we would never be where we are today. If they never decided to go through with the lawsuit, if they just kind of like went through with this and kind of allowed it to happen, there would be no problems. There could be business as usual in the House of Mouse. I, in fact, think the CFTOD would have actually done a good job running the district in the Central Florida Tourism Oversight District. I think they're doing a good job. They've already come up with tax savings. They've already trimmed the fat. They've got rid of DEI. But the problem is that when they came in with that agenda to get rid of DEI, to trim the fat, Disney got mad because Disney has been the recipient of graft for years. Think about that, guys. If this is $2 million just this fiscal year that Disney has misappropriated, how much money have they made since the 60s? How much money is that? Do the math and then inflate it, by the way. How much have they received in benefits over the years from those funds? And I get it. Disney is the largest taxpayer, but that does not mean you can use tax funds that way. Just because you think you're immune, you're above the law, it doesn't mean you actually are. And Disney is discovering this very, very quickly, particularly in Florida, where their protections are gone. Their special, the special deal they had, that's all gone now. That's all gone now. This video has been a clip of a previous live stream, and it's clipped so you can get the information in a shorter, compact package, the information you need. If you want the full video, the whole context, the whole thing, you can check out the full stream that is in the link below. Check that out, and I will catch you guys later. Peace.